plane carrying former Austin police officer VonTrey Clark. And just hours ago, this jet made a quick stop in Honolulu, Hawaii, before getting back and heading for Austin. Clark facing a murder charge tonight. VonTrey Clark is now just over 2 hours away from returning to Austin. He's been in Indonesia since mid-July. This is video of Clark being escorted in handcuffs early this morning. He was taken on board a U.S. government jet filled with FBI agents. Clark is charged with the death of this woman, his girlfriend, Samantha Dean. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell is live at Austin's airport waiting for Clark to arrive. Robert?
Good evening. We have just been watching here the empty sky, of course. VonTrey Clark still about 2 hours from arriving. Now, we've been monitoring his movements very closely ever since he left America and went to Bali in mid-July. Since July 30th, he's been in custody of Bali police after being picked up on what's known as a red notice or an international arrest warrant. Really, it's only been up to FBI to go get him, and that's what we're seeing the final chapter of tonight. Here's what we do know tonight. We've been tracking a flight that we noticed this morning depart Bali. Now, agents put Clark on a small private jet this morning. We checked. There was one registered to the Department of Justice. After Clark was deported from Indonesia, we tracked a jet flying from Bali to Guam and then the 7 hours on to Honolulu. After a short stop, it continued onward to Austin. That's another 7 hours. Again, I just checked, and it's somewhere over Arizona right now, scheduled to touch down here at the south terminals, we believe, of ABIA at 11:43 tonight. So we're keeping an eye on that, of course. What we're also expecting is for Clark to be transported down to the Bastrop County Sheriff's Office. That appears to be the most obvious place for him to be transported to after what some call his flight to freedom. There's also a news conference scheduled there tomorrow at the Bastrop County Sheriff's Office with local and federal officials. Now, as soon as we see the flight land and we have confirmation, we'll tweet out that information. Again, expected to touch down here at the south terminals where non-commercial flights touch down at 11:43 tonight. For now, we're live at ABIA. Robert Maxwell, KXAN, investigates.
We got a response from Clark's attorney tonight. He says law enforcement is calling his client a fugitive because it helps their case, since in their opinion there's very little evidence. Bristol Myers maintaining that Clark was set to return to Austin in August. He also says investigators went to these lengths because the image of Clark coming home under his own power would paint a picture of innocence that would hurt their case.